Okay. Hey guys, what's up? It's kyle9965 here. It's time for a Q&A session with Kyle. But before I get into the Q&A, I just want to make some quick points. One, thank you guys for Thank you guys for sending me all the nice comments and stuff about the John Cena poem video. Definitely was not expecting it. I mean, I was expecting it to be like a World War III, from Sing Nation fans on that video. I was expecting it. Still am expecting it because some of my subscribers are hardcore John Cena fans. So I was expecting to see some negative comments or some dislikes on that video. Haven't gotten them yet, but still, thank you guys for sending all those nice comments and liking the vid. And also, thank you, J-Man from IWR Show. Check them out, guys, by the way. Thank you, J-Man, for sending a very in detail, nice message you sent me yesterday, read today. Thank you very much for the nice comments and tips as well. I really appreciate it. Concerning the tags in the video, yeah, I definitely know about the tags. The only problem I have about it, I have is that, like, because I do every video, all my videos through my phone, my phone will only let me put, like, I think like 8 tags the most on a when I'm uploading the video. I can't put that many tags on the video. I would like to put like a whole lot, a list of tags, but my phone only lets me, put up a certain amount of tags on there. And eventually, I'm definitely gonna buy me a camcorder, but I've been spending my money on some other stuff recently, like the new Batman Arkham City Collector's Edition, which drops out in stores everywhere. I think on the 18th, which I think is like next Tuesday, next Wednesday. So I recommend you guys pick that up. The game's gonna be freaking awesome. Thanks. And some of my videos too, though, like some of my early videos that I made early this year. The reason why some of those don't have tags is because I had forgotten, and so I remembered to put tags. And then some other videos I make, like say if I make a random video and just like showing a quick pick of, like I had done a video on like a 50-second video. Well, I think I was in Walmart where I showed everyone that I got the Randy Orton and SummerSlam 2011 DVD. And I guess with videos like that, I kind of don't really take much thought in the videos like that because I don't think a lot of people would watch, a 50-second video of me talking about, hey, I got, great pickups, got this DVD and that DVD. So I don't bother to put tags on videos like that because I consider them, I guess, to be like irrelevant. I don't think a lot of people would see them. So certain videos that I don't put tags on, I leave tags out because I don't think a lot of people would watch it because I don't feel, like the topic is important enough for a lot of people to watch it. But then the videos that I do put tags on, like I said, I can only put like 8 on there through my phone. I can only type in 8 tags. But if memory serves me right, I think YouTube now has like a new feature now where like you can go back on your videos and you can like add more stuff. Like you can edit your video and stuff, like add more tags and stuff like that. So I could easily go back on my laptop and upload and edit videos and add some more tags to my laptop instead of the phone. Alright, so let's get into your Q&A questions. Alright, so how's it going to go? Start off, I'm going to mention the person's tag name, and then I'm going to list all of their questions. And then from all of their, after I answer all of their questions, you'll know I get to your set of questions once I mention another person's name, and then I'll start listing down their questions. Like I said, I know I was going to do this by 6 p.m., but I decided to do it early today because I got more questions throughout the night, and I want to answer every single question that I can. I want to answer everyone's questions that they sent in, but I don't want to wait too long and have other people add more questions, and the video becomes too long and no one would watch it, and yeah, we wouldn't want that. So the first question comes from 22SRS22. And your question is, do you consider the WWE Championship nowadays as a prop? My question to that is yes, I do consider it a prop. I made a video which you can find probably way at the top of my list. It's at least like 2 to 3 days old. It's titled "6 Things I Think Kill the Wrestling Business," and the lack of importance of championship belts are one of those things that I had listed that I think that kills the wrestling business. So check that video out where I go into detail and explain that more. When I explain it more in detail. But as for the WWE Championship, more directly, I do consider it as a prop, because if you have a championship belt, where you say it's the end all bend all, it's an item that everybody wants to get, but only a few men can name a claim to it. I think that when you have something that's supposed to be as prestigious and important as that, change hands between 10 people within a 2-week period, yeah, no, it kind of sounds like a TNA booking, doesn't it? But WWE has been kind of guilty of doing stuff like this too. But when you have, like say you had the belt, change hands between 10 people within a 2-week period, the belt doesn't, it loses its prestige. It means nothing, because it's like anybody can be champion now. It's like anybody can be WWE champion. It doesn't matter, how long this person's going to keep it, because, Santino can be WWE champion, although I pray to God he will never be WWE champion. I tell you that would be the final nail in the coffin if Santino Marella becomes WWE champion. I hope he never does. But anyway, the championship belt loses its prestige, and it doesn't mean anything. You as a wrestling fan, and there are a lot of wrestling fans who say, when they watch wrestling now, they're like, what's the point, of winning a championship, because they don't mean anything, because within the next 3 weeks to a month, the belt's going to be around somebody else. So I think that's what makes it a prop, how quickly the belt changes between people. There's no longevity in keeping the belt around the champion, for a long period of time to bring prestige to the title. And also, as well, because I think another thing that makes the WWE Championship a prop is the belt design. Yeah, I'll say it again. The other thing I think that makes the WWE Championship look like a prop is the belt design. I hate this belt design. Now, I'll be completely honest. I liked the Sprinter belt when it first came out back in '05. I thought it was, I definitely knew it was gimmicky, but I thought it was a little cool, gimmicky type of thing. It's part of pop culture. It was fresh. It was different. I liked the Sprinter belt when John Cena first brought it in back in '05. But I had never thought in a million years, nor did it ever occur to me, that WWE would make this their official championship belt. I thought it was just going to be, a belt only for John Cena, or John Cena's the champ. And to this day, I still think that belt looks better on John Cena than it does anybody else, because that's really like his belt that he's made. And I mean, like, when you look at the WWE Championship, it doesn't look like an authentic world title belt. Now, you look at the World Heavyweight Championship that Mark Henry has, that looks like a real, world belt. That's like, it's like, if you want what do you want your World Championship belt to look like? You would want it to look like the belt that Mark Henry has. The World Championship that Mark Henry has is a type of belt that you could see in UFC, or that you could see in boxing, or in wrestling. But the WWE Championship belt, that doesn't look like a belt that you could see anywhere. I mean, the WWE Championship looks like an expensive $1,000 toy. It really does. It's blamed, and I kind of get a lot of heat for it, but I don't know. I'm traditional, but I like the old classic, World Championship belts that actually look like World Championship belts, not a freaking stage prop or a trophy. I mean, seriously, the WWE Championship, the current WWE Championship, looks like something you would mount up on your wall to show your friends. Say, oh yeah, this is my trophy I won at some competition, but it doesn't look like an authentic world title that you will want to represent your company. So yeah, I think the WWE Championship is a prop. Next set of questions come from Marco Rubio 2012. Sorry if I may have mispronounced your name. So your set of questions are you buying WWE 12? My answer to that is hell yeah. I'm getting the People's Edition, which has the Rock on the front cover. It's a collector's edition, which you can buy exclusively only on thq.com. So I recommend you go to thq.com and get the People's Choice edition. It's just $10 more than what you would pay for the original standard edition, and it comes with some extra bonus feature stuff too, which I think is cool. I'm not gonna go down the list. Go to thq.com and click on the People's edition, and they have a list out of the features that come with the collector's edition. So I recommend you get that. Your next question is favorite WWE game. My favorite WWE game is SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. That game was awesome. It had an amazing roster, as well as had one of the best storylines, I think, in any wrestling game, even to date. And I go to school for game design and things of that sort, and we look at lists and the game statistics and stuff, and see like what game is more popular than the other. And one of the things you got to look at was the WWE series, like video games, like all the WWE video games from like first SmackDown all the way to SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. And Here Comes the Pain is still the most bought video game in the entire SmackDown game series. Here Comes the Pain is still, the #1 SmackDown game, and it's a highly recommend, game amongst wrestling fans. Another wrestling game I like too, that I liked a lot, but it didn't get a lot of great buys or reviews. A lot of people just crapped all over it, and that's WWE Raw 2 for the exclusively for the original Xbox. I like that game a lot. Now, Here Comes the Pain had a good roster, but I thought Raw 2 had a better roster. Raw 2 for the original Xbox had like at least up to 60 to maybe like 62, 63 characters. I mean, the list of stars on that game's roster was amazing. It was a deep roster and a good roster. That was the best roster in any game I've seen on any wrestling game. But not only that too, it had a good storyline, I thought, to it, and it had a lot of creativity and things that you could do on the game. And a lot of stuff that THQ throws in current SmackDown games. They say, oh, we have this new feature here, to broaden the creative side of the wrestling fans and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff is not new. Some of the stuff that they quote unquote say it's new, a new feature that they've added in these current SmackDown games, they've actually taken from the Raw 2 game, but they just brought it back on an updated game system. And WWE 12 is a perfect example of that too, because some of the stuff that they've added in WWE 12 are stuff that they've taken from Here Comes the Pain, and I think the first original SmackDown game that came out in '99. So, yeah, not everything they do is original. They just they just update old stuff that they put in past SmackDown games. Your other question is, do you collect anything WWE related? Yes, I do. I collect WWE action figures. I keep them in their boxes in mint condition, as well as I collect replica belts. What is your next WWE purchase? My next WWE purchase, well, obviously will be the WWE 12 game, but besides that, I'd say the Night of Champions pay-per-view. That'll be my next purchase I buy on DVD. A lot of people crap on that pay-per-view. I don't think it was bad. It wasn't great, but it was a good pay-per-view, I thought. Good enough to buy, for me at least. So I like that pay-per-view. And then your last question is, do you wear WWE shirts in public? Well, my thing is that I've never bought, as long as I've watched wrestling for years and years and years, I've never bought a shirt from wrestling. Only due to the simple fact that every design that WWE has made or, slogan or whatever that they've made on a wrestling shirt, it never caught my attention to make me want to say, oh, I have to buy this wrestling shirt. I want to buy this shirt. So WWE has never made a shirt that makes me want to, go out and buy and purchase. Until they made CM Punk's Best in the World shirt. That is a shirt I love. That shirt is awesome. That is a shirt when I saw Punk wear it at Money in the Bank. That is the shirt. That's the shirt that I say that, hey, I have to get, I want to get it, and I am going to get it. And when I do get it, I will wear it out in public because I'm not afraid to say I'm a wrestling fan. Because in today's society, the way wrestling is now today, a lot of fans are, kind of keep it in the closet that they're fans of wrestling. But me, I'd wear a shirt out in public with no problem, and it can really express that I am a wrestling fan. And if anyone tries to say, oh, wrestling is fake and script, well, I have 1,000,001 things I can say to combat their comment or sarcasm. The next set of questions come from BlackRock316. And your question is, by looking at TNA's roster, who do you think they need to reinvent their character because it's gotten stale, or someone that let me rephrase it again. BlackRock316 asks, by looking at TNA's roster, who do you think they need to reinvent their character because it has either gotten stale or they really don't know what to do with them storyline-wise? Well, I can name of 3 people. But one, I'm going to keep plugging. I plugged in many of my past videos. I'm going to keep plugging until the heavens open up. I'm going to keep plugging until Dixie Carter gets a visitation. I'm going to keep plugging until Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff leaves TNA, which won't happen for another year or 2. But anyway, and that's Samoa Joe. Reason why. Samoa Joe needs to be reinvented. And when I say reinvented, I don't mean reinvent his character or anything like that. Samoa Joe doesn't need to reinvent his character. You can keep him as the Samoa submission machine, but Samoa Joe has kind of become irrelevant right now in TNA, and that's really because they don't put him on TV, and as well as that, they also they don't put him in any interesting storylines or marquee matches, to make him relevant. Because if you look at Samoa Joe now, from a lot of TNA, Samoa Joe doesn't have that. He doesn't get that stain that he once had before, in TNA. And people aren't really behind Joe anymore like they used to be. And it's to the point where Joe's kind of become like an afterthought for a lot of TNA fans. And I think that's really sad. And that's partly to do because TNA do not invest in Samoa Joe anymore. And I think that's kind of sad. I'd like to see Joe. I think, if you put Joe, they're pretty much going to have to press the restart button on Samoa Joe. I hate to say it, but they really have to press the restart button on Joe. And that's put Joe back on TV. It's fine to see Samoa Joe, do, squashes and stuff like that like he always does. But I'd like to see more of Samoa Joe. Instead of doing a 2-minute squash with someone, I'd like to see Joe have a legitimate 5 to 6 minute 4-star quality match on Impact, on pay-per-views, and on pay-per-view, not have the opening match on a pay-per-view. No, I want Samoa Joe to have a match. I think he should have a match on the mid to upper card quality match on a pay-per-view, not the opening match. So Samoa Joe is one I think that needs to be reinvented. They need to press the restart button. Like I said, I don't think he needs to change his gimmick or his character because, to me, I think Joe is kind of like one-dimensional, and I could be wrong, but I think he's one-dimensional in the sense of like I can't really see Joe fit any other type of persona or character other than that of being, a guy who has a chip on his shoulder and he just beats the hell out of any and everybody, type of character like he's always been throughout TNA and Ring of Honor. So Samoa Joe is one. The other 2 guys I think will be the Pope. Pope's another guy I think needs to be reinvented. Like Joe, doesn't need to change his his character, gimmick, anything like that. People love him as is. But the Pope is one where storyline-wise, they really don't know what the hell to do with him at all. And I feel kind of bad for him because it's like, they feel like, okay, well, we don't know what to do with you, so we're going to put you in some random storyline with the Devon, including his two sons, and just just have you in there to keep you somewhat relevant, which I don't think is. So Pope is one I think needs to be reinvented. I like to see Pope getting some marquee matches, some main storylines like Samoa Joe as well. Getting some main storylines, and I like to see Pope, become X Division champ. Eventually. Pope has been in TNA, for at least about over 2 or 3 years now. He has not won a championship yet. So I like to see Pope, X Division champion. Although it probably won't happen now because they've put a weight limit on the X title, which is stupid. But hopefully he'll become an X Division champion one day, hopefully. Then the other person I think needs to be reinvented. I don't like this guy at all. He does nothing for me. He's crap to me. But because he is a young talent, he has been there for a while, I think he needs to be reinvented, and that's Matt Morgan. Matt Morgan needs to be reinvented as well. He's someone who needs to be put in some major storyline. He's an afterthought too. Matt Morgan had some huge pushes throughout 2009. Got some good spots throughout 2010, being a part of Immortal and main eventing 2 pay-per-views with Jeff back to back. Well, actually 3 pay-per-views really. 2 of them with Jeff, the other with Kennedy. So Matt Morgan's one I think needs to be reinvented too. Like I said, not as big a fan, and not a big fan of him at all, but he has been there for a while. He's young talent. I think he needs a good, decent push. And then the last set of questions come from the J-Man himself from the IWR show. Check him out, guys. J-Man set of questions start off with my favorite wrestler of all time and current. Well, concerning of all time, it's kind of hard because sorry about that, it's my phone. Concerning favorite wrestler of all time, I have to say it has to be The Rock and Stone Cold. Like, it's kind of hard for me to put those two, to put one above the other, because to me they're like so evenly matched. When it comes to mic skills and charisma. Although I think Rock is a much better wrestler than Austin, but I have to put Rock and Austin both tied to number 1. It's my favorite wrestlers of all time. Now, my favorite current wrestlers, I'd have to say number 1, definitely CM Punk. I can easily put Punk in number 1. Number 2, I would have to say Davey Richards. I've been a Richards fan for a long time, and I'm glad to see he's finally, he's gotten the, his main event push that he's been getting, So I think that'd be it for my current favorite wrestlers, Punk and Richards. Your next question is my favorite match of all time. Favorite match of all time. I have to say it would be the Playboy Bunny Gowns match at WrestleMania 20. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's not my favorite wrestling match of all time. Although I like that match, but it's not my favorite wrestling match of all time. My favorite wrestling match of all time. Oh boy, that's really hard because there are a lot up there. But the one that's sticking out of my head right now that I can say is Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 19. That was an awesome match. I love that match. It's one of my favorite matches from both Lesnar and Kurt Angle's careers. Like I said, just really great match. And considering too that Kurt Angle wrestled in that match with a broken neck, that's like kudos to Kurt. That just makes the match even more spectacular. Because the type of quality of match that they had, and to know that Kurt Angle wrestled that match with a broken neck, it's like, oh wow, it's awesome. So I have to say Brock Lesnar versus Kurt at WrestleMania 19 is my favorite match of all time. Favorite pay-per-view of all time? That's pretty a no-brainer for me, and it's pretty much every wrestling fan, at least so I say older wrestling fan that's in my age bracket, their favorite pay-per-view as well of all time, and that's WrestleMania 17. WrestleMania 17, awesome pay-per-view, from top to bottom, awesome card. To me, I would consider WrestleMania 17 to be the perfect pay-per-view. And of course, that's the pay-per-view announcement. That everyone knows that we're Stone Cold turns heel and allies himself with the evil Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So, WrestleMania 17 is my all-time favorite pay-per-view. My favorite moment of all time, Kelly's expose. Yeah. No, I'm kidding about that one too. It's up there though. Kelly expose is up there. But my number one favorite moment in wrestling of all time would definitely be the '97 King of the Ring when Austin cut the 316 promo. That was my favorite moment of all time. I think I was like 6 or 7 years old when he cut that promo. I think I was probably like 6 maybe, going on 7, when he cut that promo. And I actually remember that promo word for word back then, even now. And when I saw Austin cut that promo for the first time, I knew, something was going to change within WWE. Although during that year, I was still watching WCW more, because I thought WWE at that time was kind of, I don't know, they weren't exciting enough like WCW was at the time. WCW was like, but still, that was a moment, my favorite, number one moment of all time episode was the Austin 316 promo. That was awesome. And then the last question you had is my favorite dream match. Well, I'll answer this question in 2 ways. One, I'll answer it by a dream match that I know will never happen, but I wish it could. And that's my number one dream match I have will be if both these guys were in their prime, and that would be Bret the Hitman Hart, the Excellence of Execution, versus the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. That is my ultimate dream match right there. And I'm not, if anybody else is watching this video, I'm not talking about both men currently now, how they are, but if, Bret was in his prime, and being the excellent execution that he was, and Kurt Angle being the wrestling machine that he was, although he still is, I consider, a wrestling machine. Kurt Angle can still go, but, let's be honest, Kurt Angle's getting up there. But still, if both these men were in their prime, best shape of their lives, I would love to see a Bret Hart, Kurt Angle match. I think that would be, like, fantastic. I've seen, Benoit and Kurt Angle matches, which were great. I've seen Benoit and Bret Hart matches, which have been great. But to have Bret Hart and Kurt Angle, I think that'd just be like, that'd be a battle of the wrestlers type of match. Because to me, I don't think the best technical wrestlers of all time for me is Bret Hart and Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. Like, those guys are, they're wrestlers. They're not entertainers. They are wrestlers. They're a wrestler. And I think the type of reversals and executions that Kurt Angle and Bret Hart have been known for, if those guys were to fight against each other, man, that'd be a freaking awesome match. The ankle lock versus the sharpshooter. The pile driver versus the angle slam. Man, I just get goosebumps just thinking about it. But to speak of a dream match that I would like to see currently today, that I would like to see, would definitely be CM Punk versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania 28. That is a current dream match I have. That's a dream match I have that I think could happen currently, although it might not happen due to the simple fact that there's been some rumors that CM Punk might go into WrestleMania next year as the WWE champion, which I'm all good for. That's cool. But if I had a choice to see CM Punk at Mania as the WWE champion or see him fight Stone Cold, I'd definitely pick CM Punk fighting Stone Cold. Simple fact, because like I said, I love CM Punk. I loved him at Mania as the champion. But let's be honest here, Punk is 31 or 32, so Punk's still going to be within the company within the next 10 years from now. He's still young, so Punk can go into any WrestleMania, as the WWE champion or win the WWE championship at any WrestleMania at any time. But how many Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk matches are we going to see? Not that many. You're only going to see it once, and that would be at WrestleMania 28. So although WWE are kind of heavily leaning towards Punk being the WWE champion going into Mania, I would be more, and I said I'm up for that, but I'd be more geared towards a Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin match at WrestleMania. That is a current dream match I would like to see today, right now. I'd love it. So that wraps up, the questions that you guys have sent me. Thank you guys for sending me all of your questions. You guys sent in some really good questions and sent in quite a lot, considering, I kind of made the video or made the heads up like a day before. So I got some really good questions. I'll definitely do a Q&A video again. More likely, I'll probably do a Q&A video every Saturday, and then what I'll do is I'll make a video that'll be titled "Ask Me Anything," and in that video, that'll be a video that'll be like a minute long to give everyone a heads up on. It'll be a video where I give people a heads up on, like, hey, I'm going to make a Q&A video this Saturday. So leave all your questions and comments on this video. So I'll do something like I'll do something like that. So I'll make a video like that, like on Thursday, to give people like a 2-day advance notice to get in all your questions and stuff like that. So then when Saturday comes, then I'll make the Q&A video and answer all your questions. So I'll start doing stuff like that. And like I said, thank you guys for submitting your questions, and hopefully I've answered all of you guys' questions to the best of my ability. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you like it. So yeah, peace out. Have a good day.